Hello, my name is Maggie. Hello, my name is Maggie. I'm a mother of twin daughters. They're identical twins. They're now 12 months and a week and a half. And I live together with my husband in Paris, the capital of France. And myself, I am originally from the Netherlands, Amsterdam, and so I'm Dutch. I've had a career as a principal dancer. I directed my own dance company, and now I'm co-directing together with my husband a dance school. And I would like to talk with you about nursing. I am still breastfeeding my twin girls, and I'd like to talk about how I developed a planning. So I remember in the hospital, the midwives tried to encourage me to breastfeed. They soon, quite immediately, they came with a cushion like this one, which I actually, let me show you, which I actually prepare like, I have like this one in front. This is a bit thicker. This one here, this one there, and then this one here, and then my husband or another help, a nanny helping us would come and bring the girls, and one here, one there, and they would latch on, and I would be breastfeeding. And wait, let me get back, because I spoke about the hospital. So in the hospital, I did not discover this because I didn't have those cushions. I was way more forward. I was very exhausted. This I remember because I slept about half an hour per 24 hours in the hospital, because each time I thought I could sleep, the door would open up and there would come some doctor or midwife asking me questions, specifically saying, madam, you look so exhausted. What do you need? Medication? Do you need pills? I said, at what moment I got so grumpy, I said, what I would like is peace. Could you maybe leave? And my husband said, well, that's not very polite. And I said, I actually wanted to say, get the beep out of my room. So this was the polite version. And then when we came home, the half an hour got extended to a full 2 hours of sleep per 24 hours. So I was still together with my husband. We were plain dead. And we were trying to stay alive, trying to survive. And then as I got a little bit more sleep, I started realizing in the hospital, my girls they pushed me to give birth to my girls week 37. They were not announcing themselves at all, but they were very terrified in the hospital for complications, even though I had no sign. So they said, really, do it now, do it now. I was okay. And so they were very little, and they were very, they were not weak, but anyone that age, that small, is relatively weaker than like a normal baby being born 40 weeks or 41 weeks and then only one baby. So they had together the weight of like a sturdy baby. So they had little weight and small age, and therefore they didn't have so much force to suck. So in the beginning we gave them breastfeeding like 10 minutes, both 10 minutes, and then we would give them bottle. And my intuition told me, be careful, because if we continue with the bottle, they could drink a lot of milk or a lot of formula in a small time with relatively little energy. I thought, if I continue with that, then they will probably reject the breast, because it takes more energy to suck and to get the milk out. And I asked my husband, once we were home, I said, please, can we reduce that? And we did, and we managed to go 100% breast milk starting 1 month. So I'm just putting this away, getting very warm. And So starting 1 month, I've been breastfeeding my girls exclusively until 6 months. So month 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then since month 7, I started introducing food. So adding solid foods, and I'm now down to 1 breastfeeding per day in the morning. So what did I discover? How did I manage to breastfeed so intensively my 2 intercourse girls all the time? To the delight of my pediatrician, or children's doctor. Because each time she was very happy, very pleased. She discovered their growth had improved, they had gained enough weight, and so on. They were like, if this was the statistics, this like the bottom and then like the top, they were like, well, they started being here. Well, they actually started here, and then they became like here, and then now they're like here. So they're like really tall, and then a little bit less heavy, but like well over average, which apparently is a good sign. So I discovered, actually by accident, by lack of people being there at a given moment to help me, I was on my own with the babies almost a whole day and several days, and because I was so exhausted, they would be brought to me to feed, and then my husband had to leave, and for a moment we didn't have other help, and I would be with them, and too exhausted to do anything else, so just sit and wait for quite a while until my husband would come back from work. And what I discovered is that if I would keep the girls, they would drink 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, then they would fall asleep, and then they would wake up, and then this is when they were 2, 3, 4 months. Then they would start drinking again. Very interesting. And the moments when my husband or other help was there, I would ask them after the 10 or 15 minutes to change their diapers. So there was like 10, 15 minute feeding, diaper change, first one, then the other, and then a second feeding. And with this, they drank a lot, and apparently they managed to drink so much. So this would be 1 feeding, would be first part, diaper change, second part. And in total, they would be drinking actively between 20 and 30 minutes. And this was what enabled my little babies to gain enough weight for the pediatrician to say, wow, this is fantastic, please go on. I have asked other mothers of twins or single children, and also I've read a lot that they recommend like 10-15 minutes drinking maximum. And the people I've asked how long they were feeding, they would often say, okay, just 10 or 15 minutes, but then after a couple of months I gave up because the pediatrician said my child had not gained enough weight. And so I discovered this trick, which I'd gladly share with you, to do a first part diaper change and a second part. Now the diaper change is very important. You can also allow them to sleep or play with them, but there needs to be a change, because after about 10-15 minutes they don't actively feed anymore, the babies, and then you can keep them forever, but they will not drink more. So it's not the amount of time, but it's like their condition. So also what helped was to take them out of their little sleeping bags, so they're not cold but not like really toasty warm, just good. Because if they would be in a sleeping bag, they would fall asleep, drink just 5 minutes and not have drunk enough, and then I would need to feed the bottle again, which I did not want. I really tried to feed them as long as I could, only with my breast milk. So this is my tip. Um, take the sleeping bag away. Of course, the room needs to be a good temperature, but in a way that your children are not toasty warm, but just okay. And then have a first part, a diaper change, or play with them, or let them sleep, and then a second part. So this really helped. How many months have I been feeding them? I've been feeding them up until the end of the 6 months, only breast milk. Then I started introducing solid foods. I went to, at that moment we were down to 4 feedings a day. Then I went to 3 for 2 months. I went to 2 for 2 more months. So each time I introduced this 2 months. Then 1 for 2 more months, which is where we are now. No, we finished this, yes. And then now we are, yes, my girls have had their birthday a week and a half ago. So I'm now trying to go to ending the breastfeeding and actually observe my breasts are shrinking. It's very interesting. And yeah, I also observe because of that there's less milk. So in the mornings already now I'm starting to have them for 10-15 minutes and then half a bottle of milk. So the reactions I've had from other people vary. I have discovered something I was not aware of. Apparently women who breastfeed after 6 weeks are in Western society rarer and rarer. I had no idea. I found myself not explaining to everyone that I'm still breastfeeding. I'm recognizing that other women who breastfeed 1 year or 2 years or even 3 years kind of like keep it hush hush. Apparently this is something not done or not spoken about. I'm extremely grateful I've been capable so far of giving this to my girls. I'm trying to break it down so that after 13 months I will not breastfeed anymore. But I'm extremely grateful to all the women I have been able to communicate with and exchange tips who continue after 6 weeks, like I do, to see that we are there. We encourage the breastfeeding, we embrace it, and I have observed when I really try to focus and concentrate only on positiveness and people who are very enthusiastic about this and see the benefit, then it really works well. And people who are not approving of it, I try to change the subject. The weather, vacation, recipe for apple pie, anything. I just don't mention what I do. So that's a tip for others. Yes. Thank you.